everybody and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all good. Today is a very exciting video. It's going to be Reyna's first week of weaning, or kind of like her first tastes. I did a video similar to this with Novely, my first baby, who is now 2.5, nearly 3 years old. Can't believe she's going to be 3 in August. I did a video with her kind of first taste and first week weaning on my channel, so that goes kind of more into detail of what I'm making, how I'm making it, and kind of what I'm following, whereas I'm not going to do that in this video because I've already got that video. So it's basically the same. I'm going to try and follow sort of the same approach to start with Reyna, but I am then going to change it and do it slightly differently. But these kind of first taste and first bit is going to be very similar. So if you're interested in like how I've made the foods and that kind of thing, then I will link that video below, so you can have a look. The book that I've kind of been looking at and taking some of this from is from the Ella's Kitchen. I don't know what it's called. Again, I will try and link it below, or I'll try and find it. I refer back to that book in the first video also. So yeah, it's kind of similar approach to Novely, but I am going to do it slightly differently. With my first baby, I think a lot of like mums and parents with multiples can probably relate, but first time around I was very like nervous and anxious towards weaning. She was not a very good sleeper and she didn't really drink that much milk for kind of like her age, like recommended for her age. So I was very focused on her finding foods that she liked and trying to fill her up. So I knew she was getting enough nutrients so she could thrive and develop and all that kind of thing, and also I was like praying that it would help her sleep through the night, because she was over like 14 months before she even slept through the night, and even then I had to like sleep train it out of her. It never just naturally happened, whereas so many of my friends and so many other people I speak to, they've just done whatever with their baby and, you know, just kept going with what they're doing and they just sleep through the night and then that's them done, whereas that hasn't happened with either of my babies. So I feel like I'm doing something wrong sometimes, because I think, why are my children not sleeping through? Like, I'm not doing anything different. Like, especially with Novely, she would self-settle, and Reyna does too. However, she does have a dummy, whereas Novely never did. But everyone used to say to me, oh, if your baby can self-settle, then they'll sleep through the night. Not the case. Not the case with Novely whatsoever. She would self-settle for every nap, every bedtime. I would never rock her to sleep, I would never shush her to sleep, she'd never contact nap, but she still wouldn't sleep through the night. So when people say that to me, it infuriates me, because I had a baby like that and she still didn't sleep through. So I feel like I was so focused then on finding foods and her actually consuming them so she was full. Also, just being a first time mum, you're just I'm winging it now, but I was just more worried and anxious, and I was really highly strung about it. I was too focused on like routines and strict, and again, probably just following other people's regimes, because I thought, well, that's what I need to do to get my baby to eat, and that's what I need to do to get my baby to sleep. Whereas actually, rather, I should have just followed her lead a little bit more, and I should have introduced more foods more frequently instead of just writing foods off because she tried it once or twice and wouldn't eat it. So I then kind of just gave up, and she definitely preferred a puree, so I went for a pureed and finger food approach, which I'm doing the same with Reyna this time. However, with Reyna, I am definitely enforcing more finger foods this time round, and I'm kind of doing more things this time. So by no means is this video me saying that I know exactly what I'm doing with weaning and all the hints and tips for everybody and saying, like, follow this, do this, because it's not that. If anything, this is kind of a video of me saying I have no idea what I'm doing. It didn't work out first time around because I have a very picky eater. She's always been picky, still is, and I'm trying to avoid that with my second. So if anybody has any tips and hints for me, then that would be greatly appreciated. But I'm going into this a lot more open-minded, a lot more relaxed, and just happy to kind of go with the flow a bit more. So these few clips that I'm going to show you are going to be Reyna's first week of basically first taste. Now, she was around 5.5, nearly 6 months when doing this. So this is going back a little bit now. She's over 6 months now. So these videos are probably about 3 or 4 weeks old now. I wasn't sure whether she was ready to start weaning. Everyone has said to me, she's a big baby, she drinks so much milk, like she just wants food, give her food. But I was very like, I don't know if she's ready yet. She has got interested in food. She was drinking a lot of milk, but I tried like the trick or whatever, when you put your finger on their bottom lip and if they stick their tongue out, it kind of shows that they're not ready yet because they can't like use their tongue to move the food to the back of their mouth or something. I saw it online. So I wasn't sure if she was ready or not, but I had some free time and I was like, right, I'm just going to make up some purees and have them in the freezer so they're ready to go when I decide to do it. And that day I was sitting and eating my tea as I normally do, and Reynas sat in her little mamas and papas seat thing, and she literally lunges towards me, grabs, we were eating like chicken burgers with avocado and sweet potato fries, she just grabs my burger and like tries to like pull it to her mouth. So I was like, right, okay, she's obviously wanting to try something. Like, I've made this stuff, she's getting towards that stage now. And I thought, if these couple of weeks before she's 6 months, if I literally just do a couple of first tastes, and I don't have to do it every single day and put the pressure on myself like I did last time, and I don't have to do it at exactly the same time every day, because that's what I did first time round. When we've got time and when I feel like she's interested in it and she might want some, I can give her stuff. So I just basically mashed her up some avocado there and then. That's the first thing she tried. It's funny because first time round I find, and I don't know if anybody else is the same or can relate, but like when you're a first time mum, you can't wait for these new milestones. You're like, wow, I can't wait until I start weaning them, or when they can sit up, or when they can crawl, and when we can like have conversations and all this kind of stuff, which is obviously really lovely. But I found with my second, I've definitely been a bit more like, but I'm not looking forward to those milestones, because I know like the fun and excitement that I have to come, but I'm also like, it goes so quick and I'm not in a rush as much to kind of like push her on to those next things. Like, I'm quite happy her staying a little baby. And I was kind of the same with weaning. I really didn't want to start it too early with Novi. I was so excited to start it, but this time around I was like, it sounds terrible and I feel like a terrible mum for saying it, but I absolutely hate it. I hate weaning. I hate the stress that comes with it. I hate finding the time to do it. I hate the extra mental load that you've got to prepare another kind of meal essentially for your babies, because even if you are baby-led weaning, they can't eat exactly the same things as you all the time, and you have to be really careful with all the salt and the sugar and everything. It's obviously messy and it's time consuming, so I was really trying to put it off for as long as possible. Obviously, once she was ready, I wasn't going to stop her, but I wasn't in as much of a rush this time as I was first time. But the loveliest thing of having second baby, and for us anyway, with kind of like our age gap and where Novi is with her development, it was so sweet because Novi just wanted to get involved and was like, can I feed her? And she was really interested in the foods that Reyna was eating. And if anything, it's kind of encouraged Novi to eat as well, because she can see Reyna's eating these foods. And I'm like, well, she's watching you and what you eat and how you eat and that kind of thing. And it's just been really lovely to see Novi want to be involved in it and want to feed her. And you'll see that in some of these clips, and it is really, really cute. That's made this really lovely this time around, which is obviously something different from first time. The first thing I tried was avocado, and I did just do this as a puree. And these first kind of few tastes I have done as puree. Mostly, I think I did give her some finger food, but I have definitely introduced a lot more finger food after this time. So what I can do is I can continue to make these videos and kind of show you what I have been giving her and what I've been doing from now to kind of add things into her diet and get her to try things and all that kind of thing. But this is purely just the first bit when she was about 5.5 months, and I just wanted to make sure she was just getting those few tastes. And I just had to keep telling myself it's not about her, how much she's consuming, it's just about tastes and exploring and that kind of thing. I feel like she actually really liked avocado. It was a really good first experience and she did really enjoy it. She was kind of doing the thing where she's kind of like sticking her tongue out, but that has soon gone. She is now properly eating foods.
Oh.
What do you think, Reyna?
What do you think, Reyna? Avocado.
Oh, yep.
What do you think, Reyna?
What do you think? Can you put it in her mouth?
Ay.
Ready?
Oh, good girl, Reyna. Good job, Noah. Good girl.
You are bad
Well, she's doing amazing.
Yum, 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 yum.
She's definitely...
The second thing we tried was broccoli again, just a pureed broccoli, and I did give her a bit of finger food of that as well. I've been more into kind of giving her the spoon and letting her feed herself as well, which again I did do with Novely, but I'm just making a more effort this time, I think, with Reyna to do that. She wasn't as much of a fan of broccoli. I guess broccoli can be a bit bitter, can't it? And it's so sweet. You'll probably hear Novely in these clips saying, I think she prefers the avocado, because she knows that she took really well to the avocado, whereas the broccoli she wasn't so keen on.
Yeah.
Well done.
Broccoli.
Not broccoli.
Just like you're eating your broccoli, aren't you?
Well done, Reyna. Oh, oh. It's a shock, isn't it? It's a shock to the system. That's not milk, is it? Oh!
Not sure?
It's fine. She likes avocado.
Then we moved on to carrot, and this one she didn't love but didn't hate. I thought this would be a favourite one because carrot's quite sweet, and a lot of people say root vegetables are good to start with because it's good for their digestion. Good girl. A lot of people say you're supposed to like give one thing like 3 days in a row or something. So there's so many contradicting different strategies and things out there to try and do. And I think it's really hard to get your head around, and especially doing it first time, it can be like really daunting. But I've just kind of gone with the flow and done what I think. If I've got some carrots in my fridge that day, I'll just give her some carrots and we'll go from there type thing. And like if Novely's having something, I'll make her something. I don't want to be making like 3 different meals all the time. I've tried not to take too much external things. Like if you just look on the NHS website, it's very simple about what it says. It's kind of all these other companies and people online that are telling you all this other stuff. They've all got their own reasons, but every baby's different, so you've just got to do what works for you and your baby. And then we also tried some cauliflower, which she actually really liked. I thought this would be one that she didn't like, but she did. She really liked the cauliflower and she ate that really well as well. Try some cauliflower. You like this one, don't you? Good girl. Num 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 num. Getting really good with her hand-eye coordination. She's using her hands, she's using the spoon and that kind of thing, and I do feel like so far she has taken to this weaning, taken it in her stride a lot more than what Novely did. I don't want to put Novely down, but Reyna's definitely taken to it better and is enjoying it more and exploring more than what Novely ever did. Novely just didn't have much of an interest in it and was very set on what she liked and didn't like, still is now. Whereas I'm hoping Reyna will be more flexible. So as I said, I've actually introduced a lot more stuff into her diet since these videos. A lot of it has changed even from these clips that I'm showing you up until now. So what I might do is try and film a couple more videos just kind of updating kind of what she's eating and what I've been doing from them, because it kind of varies with what meals she has, how much food she's consuming, what I'm giving her. So I'm more than happy to kind of update on those videos. Yeah, that's our little Reyna-roo with her first tastes and her first bits of food. I don't think I've mentioned in this, but I have just started purely with vegetables because I find that's just kind of a good way to get them used to kind of the bitter kind of vegetable taste, whereas I have heard, and it makes sense to me, which is kind of one of the things that I have taken from all of the bombardment of information that you can get online, is that I would rather start with the vegetables, because if you start with something sweet, then they might have like an aversion to the bitter stuff, whereas if they're already used to that, they then get the sweet stuff and it's like, oh, this is nice, but they've already kind of grown the taste of vegetables and kind of the more savoury side. And because I'm doing it more at tea time, it's the normal sort of time I'm feeding her, that's kind of more of a savoury dish kind of thing, and I'm just slowly introducing more foods and more frequently feeding her. But to be honest, I'm just doing it as and when I've got the time and the patience and the stuff there. Like if I'm doing something for Novely and it's breakfast time, I might just quickly give Reyna some as well, and then she'll also have her tea. It varies, but I'll get more into that. I hope maybe it's helpful to somebody, even if you don't take anything practically from my video. Just be reassured that trust your gut, do what you think, take bits of information that you find works for you and what relates to you and what you want to follow. You don't have to follow it all because there's just too much going on. And just know, like, yes, I'm a lot more relaxed this time round and I'm finding it easier, and I'm actually finding it a much more enjoyable experience this time round, definitely. I don't know whether some people do, but not everybody knows what they're doing and not everybody feels confident in what they're doing. I certainly don't. I'm just winging it and going with it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I will have a baby that isn't so fussy and a child that isn't such a fussy eater, because it's still something that I'm continuously working with Novely. All babies and children are different, so you could probably wean 2 children in exactly the same way and have 2 completely different outcomes. And let me know if you have any hints and tips for me with our weaning journey, and let me know if there's any other videos that you would like to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.